Welcome to the Full Mysteries, where we seek to discover everything that lies between the folds of reality. So this week, we're excited to have good old Chad back. I'm not sure. There we go. Chad. It's hard to point the right direction. Chad. Good old Chad back. So you've been busy. What you been up to?
Well, after the Bigfoot attacked me a couple weeks ago, I've been pretty much in bed rest.
You
No.
got
I've been
attacked by Bigfoot.
I've been up to remodeling. I've been so busy with remodeling and dealing with uh, the the guy I got staying with us to who I've known for years, so it's not like nothing that weird. Uh, Keeping him busy and yeah, it's what it's been and nothing
Nice.
else, Glenn. Home Depot runs. I drive to Home Depot a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so side note, I do a lot of my own home repairs as well.
Mhm.
And I hate it when you think you got everything you need, you get a home, you start your project that you want to get done the same day, either because you got the water shut off, or you got the electricity shut off, so you want to get it all done in one day. And then all of a sudden you realize that you're either missing a part, you got the wrong size, you don't have the right tool, so you gotta go back to Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever. And it's like that is the worst, and it happens every single time a repair needs done. It's like you
I,
don't have something and you gotta go back.
I'm telling you, every time I go with a list. It's just
Mm,
everything we need. It's just everything we need because we're not buying the whole house stuff at once because there's not room to store all the trim. So we
yeah.
buy it, and well, we bought all the paint. And but then it's like you get there, you get all the stuff, you get everything on the list, and then it's like you get there and like, oh, we also needed this. It's like, what's not on the
Yep.
list?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you just don't know until you go to, like, start it, and then you're like, "Wait, I'm missing a very important thing." Or I've "Oh, wait, wrong size." I've done that with, CPVC before, and it's like, "No, I thought I got the right size." So, yeah, I know what that's like, but I like doing house repairs to an extent, as long as it's
I
not
don't
my own
know.
house.
I don't like it at all.
I like it. Um, so we're excited to be back. This one's a little different. We wanted to kind of do this one as like Q&A. We're going to interview each other and kind of talk about different things, just a whole variety of stuff. But most importantly, we wanted to talk about the conference coming up. And Chad, I'm going to get ready for a second because we're going to let them see. Oh, quick, wrong way. So, that welcome back. So, Chad, um, that
Mhm.
right there is the flyer for the Irons, Michigan Bigfoot Conference. We have a few of them floating around different places. So it's August 15th and 16th. And if you scan the QR code there, and I can also put it up here, scan the QR code, it'll take you to the ticket portion. You can buy spots on there. Um, you can buy your tickets to get in. If you buy a vendor ticket, reach out to me, let me know, and we will organize a position for you within the conference. It's going to be really fun. It's very family oriented. We're going to have some activity things to do for the kids and adults too, because I'm a big kid, so I like to do all the little kids stuff too. Um, so it's going to be a really fun time. So it's definitely something that you're going to want to come out for. I mean, even if you're not into Bigfoot, it's going to be just a fun thing. There's going to be lots of vendors to see. There's going to be amazing speakers to hear and fun activities to do.
Yeah, there
Um,
a lot of the vendors are it's going to be artwork and things like that there. So just the whole vendor the thing is going to be interesting for some people, which will probably draw them to the Bigfoot conference. And then we
yeah,
have a special guest coming that's going to bring the one of the largest cast collections there is. They're all duplicates, but it's
but
the same
still, you
thing.
get to
Mel,
see.
yes, yes, he's got like Ernie's, and yeah, and he's got books, and he's going to talk to people, and they're going to ask him. Yeah, we're going to have fun. We
Yeah, it's
we know Jay's coming.
Yes. Well, yeah. We got some speakers already lined up. We have some additional speakers that we haven't added to our flyer yet. So there's still more to come. We're just continuing to add great things to this conference. And we almost want to turn it more into like a festival eventually. That's something that we're really passionate about, bringing awareness to this little town. That's just a little small community. So, just, do something for the community. We wanted to try to, utilize our efforts somehow to help the community. So that's kind of where we're going with this. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But tonight, if you're just jumping on, make sure to, drop some questions in. We got some comments already coming in here.
I know. I was getting ready to read them. Hey, Grandpa. Hey, how you doing, Nova Abel Oak? Oh my God, two divas. You know it, man. You called us out. You called us right. Two. Oh, you misspelled.
Divas.
Divas. And
Two of them.
cool kid dad,
Just
his dog
kidding.
died. We're sorry, dude, if your dog died.
Oh my God. To quote divas.
Yeah. No.
Oh my God, to quote divas.
Cool kid dad, if your dog died, that's very sad. I love my dogs. They're like my children.
Oh gosh. That's sad. I'm sorry to hear that. So
wait, Gwendolyn, I have to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Does it sound like we're being trolled?
I think so. But listen, they said, "Hey, Grandpa," and it's funny because you're not the grandpa. I'm the grandma.
Oh, that's funny. But I'm older than you.
Yeah, but I'm the grandma. You're not a grandpa. They're calling you the grandpa.
No, but if my dog has puppies, I'll be a grandpa.
You know what? Yeah, I totally agree.
In the future, it could be in the future. Got a German Shepherd, beautiful German Shepherd. I could be a grandpa.
So my son has a dog, and before my son Jasper came along, I was it was my grandpuppy. That's what I called him, my little grandpuppy. And he'd come over and I'd watch him and stuff. So he's gonna be over on Monday to hang out so I can watch him. So that'll be fun. My little grandpappy, he's crazy. He's like a forever toddler. He's believe it or not, a Staffordshire Terrier, Staffordshire Terrier Corgi mix. Can you imagine that?
I don't know. I don't know if I can add it all together.
He's got like a pitty head and little short legs and pointy ears, very tall pointy ears.
So is okay, Gigi. How's your baby? We got to know about that. We haven't heard about that.
So actually, since this was kind of like a special episode, I actually wanted to invite him on. So if we can invite Jasper on the show, I didn't give her a warning. Yeah, because he's getting so big. Okay, so I have a video of him saying, Mama, his mom recorded it. So she sent it to me. So now I have that video and I was going to post it because it's, oh my gosh, so cute. And he's only 4 months old. Yeah, like 4.5 months old. So he's getting big. But he'll be on in a minute. I don't know what she's doing. But in the meantime, I thought it'd be kind of cool to talk to each other about some of the things that we've experienced, some of the things that we're knowledgeable about. And I was kind of going to, is she coming? I was kind of going to jump into it talking about tulpas and egregores, which are very similar to one another. And I'm sure a lot of people haven't heard the term tulpa, but I'm sure a lot of people have heard the term a thought, a thought experience, or like a thought creation, which is basically what tulpas are and egregores in a way. So I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the Philip experiment. So the Philip experiment is a experiment that was done very long time ago. I believe I'm going to be wrong on this, but I believe in the late 1800s. Okay. So it was this guy who was a researcher, and he wanted to see what it was like if he made everyone believe that this ghost, they bought this house. It was, um, and they wanted to convince everybody it was haunted. So they gave everybody this packet and told everybody this packet was about a gentleman who had died on the property and was haunting it. And he he had basically his whole life story, his age, how he died, his life story, what he did during the hauntings. And so these people would come and they would, experiment, or rather, discuss it, talk about it, research it. Over time, they started getting real activity from this Philip. And it turns out that the activity got so bad they had to abandon the experiment. Um, so the house, or where they were doing it, had never had any hauntings, never nothing. But the belief that this man existed, his name is Philip, he died there, he was haunting there. The belief of this collective mind of all these people believing one thing
Hmm.
kind of created Philip in a way.
Hmm. Yeah.
And sometimes you'll see that when you go into what I call pay to play places, and that's where you go and you rent the place for the night, you research it. They're great places if you have new equipment or techniques that you want to explore. You go to a place that's known to be haunted, and you test out your new theory, your new
Or
experimental thing, your new,
or you go in a deep dark basement in Pennsylvania that's full of asbestos dust, as you can see it in your lights, and you
yeah,
put on all these lights and you see dark shadows. Yeah,
yeah, we did that.
we can talk about that too. But keep
Yeah,
going.
we
I'm
can talk
sorry to
about that.
interrupt you.
So you see that a lot in these pay to play places where these stories kind of get built over time about, say, a little boy. And this little boy, um, you know, was haunting the place. And all of a sudden, a year down the road, they start getting like EVPs with the little boy's voice. They'll start, seeing the little boy run around the corner. But there's nothing ever that shows that a little boy died in or around that space. And so it's believed that those are also tulpas or, uh, you know, thought experiences. So um, I believe that tulpas are a real thing. I think that our minds are more powerful than we may think. I believe that people who don't believe in ghosts believe it so hard that they can't experience things. Um, and I also believe that we can create phenomena around us based on what we put our faith into, faith and belief. So, what's your thoughts on that, Chad? Because
One
I've done
hundred
a lot of
percent.
research on this stuff.
100%. And I'm along that line because it's so easy sometimes for, if I go to look for Bigfoot, to find their stuff and have interaction. And am I creating it? Am I drawing them? Are portals real? Well, I mean, I don't know. Elon Musk one day will tell us portals are real, but is it possible? Is cloaking real? Or is this just like, some people think that we live in, what's it called? Virtual reality. I don't believe that
Hmm.
at all. But I do believe we can create things. I do believe our mind's powerful enough to draw things in and create situations. 100%. If you go ghost hunting and you're receptive to ghosts, and ghosts, they realize that. If you're trying to draw them in, I believe you can like draw them in, and it goes with everything that's paranormal. Ghosts, Bigfoot. Okay, when people say they see a dog man, did they see a dog man, or did they create the dog man in their imagination, but actually see some apparition in front of them that they
No.
created? You
Yes.
know the
I'm sorry.
movie. You saw Ghostbusters, didn't you?
Uh, yes. I
Do
don't
you
100% remember it.
remember the monster at the end that they had to destroy? and all they had to do was not think about anything, and whatever they thought about was going to come to kill them. You remember that at the end?
I don't remember that.
And I think I don't know which one it was, but he thought about the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man, and all of a sudden there's a 300-foot marshmallow.
Okay, so that's the older ones, right? So that's the
Yeah.
ones that I was very young when I watched, so that's why I don't remember. But that makes sense. That makes total sense. And I know this is not a popular theory, and it might not even be a theory that's kind of widely thought about, but sometimes I wonder, okay, I don't settle on theories. I always just kind of play with ideas and theories. Sometimes I wonder if some of these more very paranormal Bigfoot experiences aren't like tulpas, like Bigfoot tulpas.
Mhm.
Like we wanted to experience a Bigfoot so bad that we mentally created it. And now we're experiencing this Bigfoot, but it's got a lot of paranormal aspects to it. And sometimes I wonder if that's not where this idea of Bigfoot is coming from, with all the paranormal stuff that happens around it. And also, there's a lot of like the Mothman, or like the flying pterodactyl, the Firebird.
The lizard
Um,
things, all this stuff.
yeah, like what if some of these aren't like these thought forms? And another idea is, what if they aren't like somehow breaking through some sort of time rift and we're seeing these dinosaurs from another time, you know? It's just like really cool to kind of think about the theories behind stuff. Like what ifs, well, what if it was this? What if it was that? Because nobody knows. So no idea is crazier than the other, if you ask me. Here's here's my Jasper, my little grandbaby.
Yay!
And
Hi.
he's a Bigfoot. Just kidding. He's a teddy bear.
Oh,
He's watching
he's
his mommy right now.
smiling. Hi.
He's watching his mommy right now. This little man is so spoiled. I buy him so much, and his mommy spoils him with attention and love.
Uh,
This is little Jasper. You see, he's watching the screen
I
now.
know. Hi, Jasper. Hi.
He's such a good baby.
He is.
He's such a good baby. He's awful
So
warm.
something that you said, but there's something that you can't forget about Bigfoot. Wow.
What's that?
Bigfoot dates back, I mean, way back to Leif Erikson in the 1700s or whenever that was. I don't quote me on the date. But it dates all through all Native American history. All the tribes that had no contact with each other all talked about these hairy giant forest people. So I mean,
I agree. I scared him. I agree. And I also I don't not believe in flesh and blood Bigfoot. I do believe that there is flesh and blood Bigfoot out there. But then you get these really super weird, like Bigfoot's walking through walls, and um, he's disappearing and reappearing, and like what if some of those aren't like thought forms, or and then it begs the question, like, what even are tulpas? Are they a process of creation of our minds, like our thoughts, or are they something else that's come along and known what we're putting our faith into and kind of hijacked that form or that idea?
it's kind of scary to think about.
Yeah. It's kind of wild. I put a lot of a lot of thought and process into the whole like Tulpa thing, because you get just these wide variety of Bigfoot experiences. And I'm like, well, prior to getting into Bigfoot, I was into researching paranormal, and I kind of mixed, the two, you know, ideas, and like, well, what if some of this is just mistaken identity? What if this is a paranormal being that's hijacking this form of Bigfoot
Yeah.
in some aspects?
Just admit it, a Bigfoot topa kidnapped you and took you away from ghost hunting and turned you into a Bigfoot researcher. Just admit it.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
Freaking awesome.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. How did you know?
Gwendolyn, the possibilities truly are endless. And
Yeah.
in reality, a lot of logical things are totally possible. Like a lot of the things that we've talked about, but we don't know.
Right.
And I do believe in energy that's projected never goes away. You know, if there's a
Yeah.
trauma somewhere and somebody expends a ton of energy, that just repeats itself over and over and over again. So
Yeah.
what to say that like energies and thought projection can't create?
Right.
I mean, there's no reason that I've seen as many Bigfoot that I have. There's doesn't even make
Yeah.
sense. And I'm not even Todd Standing, even though I'm wearing the same shit he is. But there is no freaking real reason that it's so easy for me to go out in the woods and experience this stuff. And I'm not creating it. And I've had people with me that have witnessed stuff. I'm not. Why? Why
Right.
am I drawing it in, or am I projecting it and creating it? That's kind of like Topa
That's
ish.
true. Yeah. I mean, that's a good way to put it. Are you drawing it in or you're projecting it? And, I think that some Bigfoot experiences are absolutely a real flesh and blood Bigfoot, but then there's those ones that are just so wild that you're like, okay, there's something else going on here. There has to be because other people that, they don't really experience it to this degree. And then some people do. And, you know, who am I to believe one person and not another, So I just always kind of leave my mind open because I mean, like my Facebook quote says, I mean, a closed mind knows only a small piece of the truth. Um, so I think it's important. Just always leave your mind open, always be thinking about the what ifs and never settle on a theory or a conclusion because I feel like that just shuts out all other possibilities.
Is Jasper playing with your keyboard?
He's playing with my notebook for the show. Like I write down notes during the show and he's playing with it.
It's like, listen how, and you can create things, okay? Really, if you got something on the brain and anything happens, you can attribute it to it. Like, remember when we were in Oregon and me, you, and
Mhm.
Jason were up in the woods, okay? And there was like weird stuff we were finding and stuff. And then we found those 4 root knots that were all
Yeah.
pointed, just laid neatly on this stump. And it's like, we don't know what did that, but what do we? I mean, you know what I mean. And then we went to the point that we left them a Canadian penny, a dime, and what'd you leave
Yeah.
them? I didn't
Um,
have nothing, and Jason lent me a
I'm
Canadian penny.
I don't remember. I left them something, but to the life of me, I can't remember what it was because I felt like it was really important. I felt like, these were laying perfectly in the trail. And it was like, it wasn't even like a real trail. It was like something that probably never, if ever, gets used. It was like so remote. That whole area was just so remote. And I'm sure if anybody used it, it was probably hunters or, well, probably just hunters. So I really felt like those were placed there for us because we did have some things that we experienced prior to that, and they just happened to be there, and then they seemed fresh. They seemed almost wet still. The woods was still kind of moist.
We're just laid so neatly on a
Yeah.
stump. Just
And
like it's like really, if somebody's going to take the time to pull these knots out of a rotted stump, because if anybody understands what the knot is, it's actually where a branch kind of used to be, as what it is, and the branch broke off, and then when the tree dies, the knot is solid. I mean, the tree will rot, and these
right.
things are like that. Like you could kill a vampire with one, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They were
You
like
still have yours?
I have 3 of them, I think, because no, I think I have 2 or 3 because I hid them in my bag to take back on the plane to give them back.
Yeah.
And, then I think I got yours because 'cause you're afraid that yours are gonna get damaged because you had
Well,
that whole
because I
big
was
trip in
carrying
front
a
of you or
Bigfoot
something.
print back too, which got flagged both
Yeah.
on and everything because they scan your bag and they see this like Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Like it was a Bigfoot cast.
Yeah. So I have either 2 or 3. I think it's 2. Um, but yeah, it was just weird, and I just really felt like I needed to also leave something behind. Like, I needed to it felt like a gift, and it felt wrong to just take it without, giving something back.
It
And
almost felt like it was left for us. I swear.
yeah,
When I
yeah,
stumbled
because
across it and called you guys, look at this. It's like just like sitting there, and we're like we took a short way up a mountain. We're on top of a mountain. There's only like one easy way, and
I
you
think
look
we
off
went
to the
through brush.
side.
We
It,
just went straight up in brush. Like, we just started, let's go in here." Went straight up the brush, and we came across this really, like, very unused trail, and we were like, "Well, we'll follow this back to come back out," because it was very late at that point. That's when we found them.
it was awesome. Yeah. Let's see.
Um, but I was gonna say something else. I got distracted. Jasper's mommy just came back in. He went grab him.
Ezra doesn't even say hi to us.
Ezra, let's say hi. You gotta come all the way around.
Yeah. All the way around, Ezra.
Hi.
Hi.
That's my daughter and my grandson.
All right.
2 of my 2, 3, 4 pride and joys in life. I have to count. I'm starting to get old. I have to count this kind of stuff. But yeah, I think that there's definitely something to that whole thing. Um, and that the gift, it just felt like a gift, like you said, and to take it without leaving something behind felt wrong. So we just pulled out whatever unique that we had in our pockets in the moment and just left it for them.
Jason had a Canadian dime and a Canadian penny. I had nothing. Jason left the Canadian dime and gave me the Canadian penny to leave. And you left something else. You had like there wasn't like it was something colorful. What was it that you had?
I cannot remember for the life of me.
It was like it was something really colorful, and it's like you just
Yeah, because I want it like colorful. You don't see that really in nature.
no.
And
But
if you're
that's all you had on you to leave them.
no, I had
Yeah,
other
it
stuff,
was
but like I perfect. Oh, it was a key. It was a key.
a key.
It was a silver key.
You know what that
Yes.
means in Spanish?
What?
A key. Do you know what that means in Spanish?
No, tell me.
It means
Okay.
here.
Spanish class. Huh?
It means
It means
here. A
oh,
key
okay.
means here.
Here
Yeah,
you
in
go.
Spanish.
That's perfect.
But
But it was
you want
actually the key to my tent lock. So
you want to hear something funny? In Florida years ago, like back in the 2006, I was down there working after the hurricanes when like a bunch of them went through, and I had family down there, and I met a couple dudes, and one dude was a millionaire, and the other dude was just his sidekick because he just I don't know, he's boy. He kept
every
running.
millionaire has a sidekick.
I got to be friends with him and stuff, stayed with him and stuff, and one day we go outside and the sidekick dude blocks us out, and there's these Latino people coming up, and he's yelling, "Hey, do you have a key?" It's a lady with her 2 kids. He's yelling, and she speaks no English. He's yelling, "Do you have a key?" Because he locked out the main part of the building, and it takes like
Oh,
a key. "Do you have a key?" And this lady freaked out, took off running, called the police.
that's
It's a true story. I mean, might
that's
as well.
funny.
Yeah,
That's
we didn't
funny.
get in trouble, but it's like I
Yeah.
explained to him that I explained to the police that hey, he didn't realize that she didn't speak English and what a key means. He's freaking from Massachusetts, and he's asking her if she has a key, and she's like freaking out, like thinking that he's telling her to come here, come here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
See, now you get it.
I get it now. I was like, why would she freak out over him saying here? Come here. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, and like he's yelling, "Come here, come here, come here," and he's yelling.
Yeah.
We're 2006, of course. We were
Yeah.
partying. We left our key in the room,
Yeah.
in the apartment. Yeah,
You got a key. That's funny.
No,
But I don't want to jump back to the tulpa thing, but I wanted to make sure I got all the information right. So I actually pulled up the Philip experiment, and
all right.
I'll read through just a quick bit of it, just so clarify anything that I got wrong, because it's been a long time since I've looked into this study, and my brain forgets stuff. So this experiment was conducted by Toronto Parapsychological Research Society, led by mathematical geneticist Dr. A.R. George Owen, and overseen. It was in 1972. I was way off on the date. The test group consisted of people from the town, an industrial designer, his wife, heating engineer, uh, let me see, bookkeepers, sociologists. So their goal was to create a fictional character through a purposeful methodology and then attempt to communicate with it through a seance. The character created and agreed to referred to as Philip during the test. His fictional history partially coincided with actual events and places, but with multiple contradictions and errors. He was born, and it kind of tells you a little bit about the one that it was based off of. And they were seated around a table with the initial seances because they did it multiple times. If at first yielding no contract, no contact, no communication, and no phenomenon. Owen changed test conditions by dimming the lights and changing the environment to mimic more of a traditional seance. Participants began feeling a presence, table vibrations, breezes, unexplained echoes, rapping sounds, matched with responses to questions about Philip's life. And at one point, the table tilted on a single leg, and other times moved across the room without human contact. Although audio and video and witness accounts document the paranormal phenomena, Philip never appeared to the participants. And at one point, it says that the experiment began, like towards the end, when the table started tilting, everybody got too afraid, and that's what ended the experiment, was the fact that it basically got too real. Um, so that's like a real study that happened to create a tulpa, basically, and probably one of the most well documented uh experiments about a tulpa. Um, Skillfully, I have experimented in creating a tulpa, and it didn't go very well because um so tulpas, being thought creations, never lived, never existed, don't have emotion, don't have feeling, don't have compassion, have no understanding of human emotion, physicalities, life, death, anything like that. So, that being said, a tulpa, when created, basically can run rampant, okay? Once it's created and continue to be fed, it will take on the ideas that is provided to it. However, when they are basically left to their own devices, like toddlers, they go kind of haywire. And typically things go south really fast. They become violent, they can become demonic like. And I've experienced tulpas that were claimed to be demons by other researchers, and I get in there and I'm like, wait, this is not a demon. This is giving back what I'm feeding into it. So um I I will talk about the tulpa I created. So the tulpa that I created was when my kids were young. Um I tried to make it a very like bright, happy experience, like one that was very positive. But when my kids were young, I told them, I said, if you knock on the window at night, they weren't like super young, like 9 and 12. When you go to bed, you knock on the window. When you go to bed, a fairy will come to the window and knock back. Well, it spooked my daughter. She didn't really want to do it. And my son, he thought it was stupid. But my daughter, had this belief that it was real.
So she
Um,
projected thought in the whole thing too. Yep.
I was utilizing young minds, young impressionable minds,
Mhm.
and I felt confident that I would be able to, control the situation because I have a lot of experience in the paranormal world. And one night when my daughter was going to bed, we heard this boom, 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 boom on our window and took off running outside. There was nothing around the house. I walked around twice, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. And immediately Ezra's like,
Mm,
"It's the fairy, isn't it?" And I'm like, "Oh, I forgot." Because it had been a while and I forgot about it. But I attribute it to that, like,
yeah.
telling her it would knock on the window and it would, bring happiness. Well, when you forget about it, then it kind of becomes whatever is fed to it. My daughter was spooked by it, so it became something spooky, and then it became something negative. So basically got rid of that right after that. Took care of it. I never do that again. Um, but I feel like we all kind of collectively created that sort of tulpa situation. Um, so if you ever get into the idea that you want to experiment with creating a tulpa, use caution and just be aware that, like you said, Chad, energy just doesn't go away. It only changes. And you got to be prepared for it to change into potentially something negative without that understanding of life and death and emotion and compassion. It things tend to automatically kind of spiral downwards. So be prepared to fix it if you're going to test this stuff because it could go south. So yeah, a lot of information there about tulpas.
Hmm.
What do you think?
Now, I am going to send you the clip of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man because you're going to see that. I'm going to just send you that segment of it after we're done here, so you can see how the one guy don't think about nothing, and or it'll get you, and the guy thinks about the friendliest thing he can, the Stay Puft Mar. Yeah, it's awesome, and
That's
it's
okay. So yeah, it's a
like
tulpa.
what he created it. Yeah.
That's
Well,
wild.
there's more to it than that. It's not just there's something extra stellar or something. There's
Yeah.
something then we are too. I truly believe that we just didn't grow up from monkeys, man. I promise you. Okay.
No.
Evolution didn't take us from a monkey to what we are now.
No.
It just
No.
didn't. It's just what we're told.
Yeah.
So there's
Personally, I
something.
mean, I'm pretty traditional because of my beliefs, my religious beliefs that we were created by God. Um,
We are
but I also think that we have these abilities that we just don't harness, don't pay attention to. And I think that some of the things that we experience are proof of that, but we always attributed it to something else.
truthfully, Gwendolyn, we're desensitized to it. We're so accustomed. We don't need our abilities. We don't need our senses anymore. Everything's like given to us. We're like what we've done to dogs. Look what we've done to
Yeah.
dogs. Really,
Yeah.
like,
That's
yeah. If I
true.
let
You're
Boris
exactly
outside,
right.
he's not gonna survive anymore, man. He's like,
Those natural instincts, they kind of fade with domestication. We've almost kind of, you're right, we've kind of domesticated ourselves with all of our technology and all of our comforts and everything else. So, yeah,
did you ever see Little House on the Prairie?
I
The
love that
TV show.
show when I was a
On.
kid.
I mean, no, I mean, I loved it too because it's my era. It was one of the only shows that were on that us kids got to watch, and that was real. I mean, they're hard winners, they're hard work, they're bleeding hands, they're animals getting hurt, riding the horse into town and stuff. And now look at us, man. Fuck, you don't
Yeah,
even have to have a car; just call an Uber.
right.
Oh, you need
Yeah.
a credit card?
Yeah. And I mean, you can take it even further back than that. And when everything was spiritual. I mean, look at all the things that happened then. I mean, yeah, maybe sometimes they didn't understand natural phenomena, but I mean, people were just more spiritually minded, you know? And I think that in losing that even in the, prairie days that you're talking about, um,
The good
I
old
think
days.
yeah, I think that even then we got so focused on, work and this and that, and you got to tend the fields, you got to mend the clothes, you got to go fetch the water, all of those tasks just to survive. I think even that kind of pulled away from the spirituality of things. Um, so it's just kind of, yeah, it's kind of odd, like how far back human history goes, and how over time it seems like the spirituality thing has just gotten smaller and smaller. And I think that losing that has kind of made us ignorant.
When I was a kid, and I'm a little bit older than you, beds were made every day. We didn't make them. Mom made them. Grandma made them. Okay. Our beds were made. Dishes were, I mean, everything was immaculate. Today, you
Mm.
tell me you make your fucking bed other than once a week when you wash it.
I make my bed every day, actually. I do.
Take the pictures. I want 5 consecutive days pictures.
I will send
You
you a
do?
picture right now. My bed's across the room.
No.
No, really,
Oh,
I
our
do.
bed
Because
gets made.
I
We
hate
wash
climbing in a bed
it
that's not
once a
made.
week. And it gets made. Well, whatever. Why? We've been lacified.
Yeah,
There's, you know, it's like
yeah.
there's more important things to do.
The comfort's brought to us, we're not working for the comfort. So, yeah, I agree. So we basically like domesticate ourselves. So I think you're right with that. Like dogs. I mean, take a pet dog and put them outside. You're right. They won't be able to fend for themselves. They're not going
Oh,
to know what to do.
yep.
Everything's brought to them just like it's brought to us. So yeah.
Well, we're doomed. Gwendolyn. We're doomed. We've relied too much on society that we've become so indoctrinated, and you know,
I don't think we'll ever get back to the way humans used
never.
to exist,
I
obviously,
don't think
but
we're
I
supposed
think that we're heading in a good direction. I think that people are being more environmentally conscious. I think that people are starting to get back to a spiritual root. I think it was lost for a while, and I think that it's kind of taken this cycle where it's full circle, and now we're getting back
to.
to, you know,
The war,
and I
the
think
war
internet.
for Christianity, Gwendolyn, is just getting stronger and stronger,
Yeah,
and people that are fighting and dying for Christianity over being forced into something they don't believe. It is pretty incredible what's going on right now in
yeah,
Africa, in Iran. You know those people that are rioting in Iran? They they don't want Sharia in Muslim law. They want
yeah,
Christianity, Catholicism, or something else. They
yeah,
don't want uh, a religion shoved down their throat that's
yeah.
manipulated by interpretation.
Yeah. And I mean, I have no issues with other religions, other, spiritualities at all. But it's the idea of forcing it on people that I believe is the wrong way to do it. Um,
No, well, no. When you kill
but
people because they don't believe that way, that's where it's wrong. It's not
yeah,
just forcing it on them. It's like if you're found with a Bible in Iran, you're freaking dead. You're dead.
yeah, yeah. But we can move on to other topics because that starts to get into more like political
It's
type stuff,
well,
which,
they're rebelling for Christianity,
yeah,
so you know we want to talk about that a little bit.
yeah.
It's like that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, things are changing. It's coming full circle. People are getting back into their spiritual roots. People are starting to look outside of what's directly in front of them in daily life, and they're starting to look beyond. And the internet could be a part of that. Making cryptids and paranormal stuff not so taboo, more interesting and curious than taboo. So, I think that the internet is good in some aspects, and then again, it's bad in some aspects. So there's that. But I wanted to kind of move on. If you have anything you want to talk about, because kind of I don't want to hog the scene here,
No,
because you were
not really. What do you want to talk? Do you want to talk about that dusty ass basement we spent fucking? Pardon my language. That we spent
yeah, we can
several
talk about
hours.
that.
Probably took 3 years off our life.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
You remember the lights, and we're seeing the dust and all the asbestos, and it's like little. Do you remember that? It was in Pennsylvania.
That was
Because
insane. Yes, I
nobody,
do remember that. Because when you were shining your flashlights, you could just see it all in the air, and it's just
and we
yellow
sat
chunks. And
down there for hours. We set up your little moving light and stuff.
yeah, the laser grid.
Yeah, and then we had the shadow, and that was in the opposite, just across from us in a different section, moving around. It's like, what is that?
And then I swear I heard it growling coming from the other section down there in the
Well, when I
basement.
heard something, I didn't know if it was. I heard something.
Yeah, I'm still curious if the cameras caught it because I didn't have the footage on my devices. So I'm still curious. I got to reach out to Jason and see if he was able to capture that because it was freaking wild, man. It's like to hear that growl and then all of a sudden you start getting this activity. And then it starts. Okay, so the most wild part. So we have an Ovilus going. And anybody who doesn't know what Ovilus is, it is a word bank. Okay, it's a device that has like so many words in their word bank,
Yep.
and the ghost or whatever's down there has the ability to kind of manipulate this device to spit out words to talk. And then on top of that, we also had a spirit box going, which is basically a device that kind of scans through radio stations at so many speeds per station. And when it starts coming together in sentences is when, you start getting evidence. Because it never stays on a station long enough to get a full sentence. So if you get a full sentence, it's manipulating that device to be able to talk. So that's the two devices we had going. And so the obvious that we had going, you guys were so
Me,
excited about
me,
seeing this shadow.
right.
Both of
Yep.
you. When the shadow popped up on the wall, you guys got so excited about seeing this shadow. Like you started getting hyped and loud and like smacking each other, like, look, 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 do you see that? And then this thing goes, fighting. And it's responding to what you guys are doing in live time. And
Oh
I was
no.
like, no, they're not fighting. And it says arguing. And I was like, no, they're not arguing. They're just really excited. And so Jason goes, yeah, we're really excited. I'm sorry. We didn't mean to, So the Ovilus is spitting out these words that are responding to you guys and your behavior in that moment, which was really cool.
I believe you're forgetting something.
What, the
Don't
wheel?
you remember I went in there and I sat on that old
Yeah.
spool, and then it
So
said it. What did it say? It said,
okay, so prior to you guys seeing the shadow, we were down there for a little bit, and I'm sitting over in this one little corner. Jason's kind of like forward and to the left of me a little bit, and he's shining his camera on the laser grid that I have going on the wall. And you kind of meander off and you go off into this dark area where we can't see you. And I said, it said broken wheel.
"Yep,
And
broken wheel."
broken wheel. And I was
Yep.
like, broken wheel? And you were like, I hear you from off in this corner, this dark corner where I can't see you
I said,
behind this little
what
pillar.
the f did that just say? No, that's what I was sitting on a broken wheel. That's what it was.
You were like, what did that just say? And I was like, broken wheel. And you were like, I am sitting on a broken wheel. And it turns out you were sitting on a broken wire spool. It was like those big giant spools. It looks like a wheel and it was broken. And even the gentleman from the college, when we talked to him about that afterwards, he goes, yeah, that's been down there for a while because it's broken. So
Yeah.
that was cool. And then following is when we got the interaction with the Ovilus responding to you guys' action, you guys' behavior live time. So that building was really, really, really cool. I mean, there was areas that was like, kind of really exciting. And then there was other areas that just felt very dead. Like it was like no activity. And you get that at haunted places. You have some places that are super, super, super energetic. And then other places like nothing happens.
There was parts of the library that you just could feel something, only in certain parts. And there was parts of the building that were just like, you didn't feel nothing.
The
And then
basement
the
of the
whole
library
history
was
is
the
what? It's all haunted because like one person jumped from the top to commit suicide because she got cheated on back in the. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have died there, but
Yeah.
isn't that like kind of the story? This student.
Yes. So, okay. So they said something about a horse too. So the lady, her boyfriend broke up with her and she was sitting on okay. So there's like this big hole that goes all the way through all these floors.
Yeah.
and she was sitting on the glass rail. I'm sure it wasn't glass at that time, but she was sitting on the rail and she was talking to her friends, and she was talking about how her boyfriend broke up with her. And next thing you know, she's dead on the floor at the very bottom floor.
Like what?
And
4 floors at least, right?
I think it was
4.
it the fourth or fifth floor up? Um, but yeah, I think that might have been the fourth floor. But there was like 6 total floors, I think, if I remember correctly. But she fell. So there was theories that she accidentally fell, that she was pushed, or that she was committing suicide. Nobody really knows, but they just know that she fell and she died when she hit the bottom. So
Ruled accidental death, wasn't it?
I don't know. I can't remember if he said that or not, but I know that there was theories. There was those 3 different theories of what
It could have
actually
been a
happened to her.
murder. Yep, there was theories. There's stuff he told me like nobody really knows.
Yeah. So I mean that you get that a lot in these paranormal places, like where there's stories and then there's truth. And I think that, a lot of times the stories get lost in the truth, and they kind of blend, and then you get these wild sort of crazy stories. But she was a real student that actually did fall. She actually did die there. It's proven. They have documentation of it. But then there was also rumors about maintenance guy in the basement. That's why we went down there. Um, and
What
then there
was it?
was also,
There was something happened to the maintenance guy, right?
yeah, but I don't remember that
Yeah,
because
wasn't it something with a boiler or something?
I can't remember, be honest with you. I just know that he kind of touched on a little bit, but he didn't want to go in too much in depth because there was no
He didn't
documentation to
even go
prove it.
down the basement with us. He
No,
was
no.
once he got to the bottom, he said, "Good,
See
let
ya.
me know when you want back. Bye,
Yeah.
guys."
And sometimes I wonder if that's come from the asbestos that was down there.
I don't know. It was bad.
It was really bad. But yeah, the
But
library
that
in the
was the only
basement was the
time we
2.
didn't really have somebody paying attention to us.
Yeah,
When we were upstairs, they let us go on our own and all that. But they
yeah.
were around checking in on us. When we were in the basement, they didn't want nothing to do with it.
And the crazy, so the wild part about being down there is that the elevators have a locking system. So if you don't have the key, physical key to access the elevator, you cannot leave. So we were in that basement locked in until he came to get us. So no matter what happened, we were down there for the long haul. So imagine if something crazy happened.
I think we spent like an hour to hour and a half down there.
It was,
Honestly,
yeah, at least an hour and a half. We have spent a good chunk of the investigation down in that basement, but it was worth it because we got a lot of
but
cool shit.
and everybody else was investigating upstairs. They missed all the fun.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
cool.
It was a really good time.
I'm glad there wasn't 10 of us down there.
Yeah. No, because a lot of times when you get bigger groups like that, that's when things just don't happen. You got
And
too
then you
much.
stir up the asbestos and you
Oh
breathe.
yeah, that was bad. We always very, very careful not to touch the walls, not to touch anything. If we sat like on one cheek, on the very edge of something.
I
Yeah,
covered my like no,
investigating
I
like
would
this.
shine the light, I swear, and you could just see it. It's like little fiberglass, little tiny
Yeah,
hair
like little, yeah,
everywhere.
you could see it. I was seeing chunks, like chunks. I was like, oh, that's going to my lungs. So yeah, when we were moving, I was like this, and when it settled down, I kind of would pull it down. But yeah, I mean, who knows what we could have got down there?
Oh,
But it was a good time. It was a good time. I really enjoyed it. Um, but I wanted to cover kind of another topic, and the reason I want to bring this up is it's a lot of story now. There's not a lot of activity going on around this particular investigative object. Um, and I think it's because of all the stories behind it. And that is a Ouija board. So we all know what Ouija boards are. We all know what they can do. They're a talking board, a spirit board. At least if we don't know, definitely look it up. But the interesting thing about the Ouija board specifically is its name. I personally, I've used Ouija boards in the past, but it was a long time ago, and I just gained an affinity for other types of boards that didn't have that name attached. So like the talking boards, spirit boards, angel boards, like other boards that can get that same sort of thing, but are not supposed to have that bad juju with that name. And there's a reason that the name has a bad connotation to it. And the reason is the story goes that in 1890, Elijah Bonds, he had a company, and he got this board brought to him, and he was like, "This is a great idea for kids." Da da da, and he got he said, "I need to know that it's real. I need you to prove to me that it's real." So they used it, and he goes, "This is genius." So he was like, "Well, what do we call it?" So he wanted a name for it, and he was like, "Okay, so what do we name it?" So during a demonstration, they basically asked the board, "What do you want to be called?" And the board spelled out Ouija. And the board then repeatedly spelled "good luck, good luck, good luck, good luck." And so the name Ouija is kind of a combination of French "oui" and German "ja," but they both mean yes. And so sometimes it was called the Yes Yes board. But what does this name actually mean? I mean, when you invite something that is a spirit is able to communicate through this board, you invite it to name itself. What exactly are you inviting to
Sure, it's a
happen?
spirit. Are you sure you're inviting a spirit? That's my question. That's why
Well,
I don't
that's
mess.
the thing. You don't
It
know
might,
what
it might be.
named this board.
It might be demonic. It could be.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
I played with
believed.
them like you when I was young, and I will never touch one again. Because
Yeah.
like you, I'm kind of for some reason draw this type of energies and stuff,
Hmm.
and yeah, no, I ain't playing with a Ouija board.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, so we'll go into Ouija board stories in a second, but the idea is that potentially something demonic named this board Ouija to be easily accessible to come back and terrorize. So that's why a lot of people, have these bad experiences with Ouija boards. I personally have never had anything overwhelmingly bad happen with a Ouija board. I've had a very, very, very strange experience with a talking board. Wasn't negative, but I definitely felt like something kind of like came into me, and I was like, okay, this is too much. This might be too much. And so we left. We were doing it in a graveyard. Um, but I'm not having anything take over me. So, but it was a talking board. It didn't have that name. So I'm curious, you talk about having your own experiences with Ouija boards. Did you have a bad experience? Like what happened?
How many? Are you
I mean,
serious?
what's your most wild
Well,
one? What
if
what
I was in the
really like
cop. Yes, no, most wild one is a metal lamp, the top of it flying off and flying across the room while you're playing with it, smashing the wall. This is only a couple years after my mom died too. I
mm,
no had like banging from the bottom of the and from the basement on the floors. Um, had was told to go places that were just like where somebody had died. It told us we were looking for treasure. Me and my friend, we were still in high school.
wow.
And we had driver's light. He was like 16, 17. I was, and it gave us this address, dude. And we went there, and like people had died in the house and stuff. And no, I don't. There's stories I can tell you, Gwendolyn, that I can't go all in on like weird stuff. So that's why I don't play. I don't play with it, man. It was all
Yeah.
fun and games in the beginning, and I don't trust it at
Yeah.
all.
I don't either. I don't either. I already have enough weird stuff happen. I don't need any more. And anytime something new comes in, it just this like spiral of energy. It just takes so long to go away. So Yeah, I don't mess with them anymore. I don't even do talking boards anymore. I feel like if something really wants to communicate me, it has other ways than this device. So, but what you're talking about, where you guys were looking for treasure, and it kind of sent you off to this house where these people died, it sounds to me like like the old version of the modern Randonautica. So, have you ever heard of that? So Randonautica, when COVID was kind of a thing, this developer created this app called Randonautica where you could basically put a thought out and say, okay, I want to go to this. And people were, I want to go see something evil. And then they think about that and then they open Randonautica and it would give them and it would give them coordinates and you could hit the map and it would take you right to it. And people were having these wild experiences. I mean, there's videos all over YouTube about it where like they want to go see something evil and then they drive to the location and then they look in the rearview mirror and there's this like crazy old lady just standing there staring at him with these black eyes, just chomping her jaws. And then the most well-known one was when they wanted to go find something. I can't remember what it was, but they ended up finding a dead body in a suitcase. And they called the police. The police came out, became a crime scene. That's so well documented. It's called Randonautica. And at one point, I went out and we did Randonautica to find Bigfoot. And I think this is on the Fold Mysteries Facebook or YouTube, one or the other. Um, so we wanted to find Bigfoot using Randonautica. And it ends up taking us to these coordinates where we end up really deep in these woods. And there's this big opening that has just tons and tons and tons of like corn stalks, like whole corn stalks and leaves and stuff, like all over it. And you can see where these big, huge, like impressions are laying in these corn husks and corn stalks. And I'm looking around and I'm looking on my map and I'm like, there's no open fields because I'm thinking maybe the corn stalks blew in or, you know, maybe they were carried in by some animal, but there was so much area that had all of these corn stalks and corn husks. And then they could tell these big, huge impressions where something was laying in it. And I was like, dude, this is wild. So, I mean, and then we did it again, and it took us to a grave site on the side of the road where some kid had died, and this young black kid, and there was like this beautiful little poem, and like it was just like, wow, like this is really something. And that kind of leads into, is it our thoughts putting it out there and manipulating this device to take us to something unique? Because both times I did it, it took us to weird places, and I'm like, "This is crazy."
We should do a
So,
study on that. We should test it. The next time we go out, let's just focus. I'm going to be like, focus on this. Just think about it the whole time. Don't speak. Just think, 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 think. And then we'll get there and
yep,
say, okay, let's see if it happens.
let's do it.
I
Let's do it because
believe
the
it.
app still exists, I think.
I believe that not only do you create things in your mind, you that aren't real, you just because it's on your brain. You know what I mean? You're in the woods looking for Bigfoot and you hear a stick break. What's the first thing you're going to
Yeah,
think?
something
Or
behind me, you know?
no, you're going to think that Bigfoot. Uh,
Right, yeah.
no, I truly believe that we kind of create this on our own. I think the universe is so vast. We don't realize our abilities. We don't realize what our subconscious is and can do. We're desensitized to using our brain like we used to. You know, we could probably do ESP, which some people can.
Yeah,
A lot of animals like dogs they can just sense you. We don't sense anything anymore, but I bet 500 years ago we did.
yeah, yeah.
And so, what do you
It's
think? You
interesting.
think you think we can create Bigfoot or not?
I think we can create a semblance of it. I think we can create Bigfoot-like phenomena or, uh, Bigfoot-like activity by faith alone. But again, that's still not Bigfoot, right? I believe that Bigfoot is out there. He is flesh and blood. There is something to it. There is generations of it. There is families of them. But again, I think some of it can be a mixed bag where you're getting these tulpa like things that are giving you Bigfoot like experiences that aren't actually Bigfoot. So that's
Like
just my
demons,
idea and theory.
right? Like demons or whatever that
You know?
can manipulate into your thoughts and create the type of thing.
Yes.
Like, okay, how about the rock that hit the window, which 100% for sure, I know in irons, a rock hit Sherry's window.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We were doing 5 miles an hour. A rock
Yeah.
hit her window. Nothing got
Yeah.
thrown up.
Hard.
Yeah.
Hard. I mean, it like snapped. It was like this huge snapping sound. And I believe that was Bigfoot. And I think that whatever we had done prior to getting in the car probably was like, hey, get out of here. We don't want you here. You know, that sort of thing.
No, we
So,
took that. You know what we did? We took all them people out there.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
that happened. That happened when we were leaving that night after everybody else had left. It's when that happened to us. We were still driving around. Didn't we? No, we went to go get the trail cams after those people left.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it was. But we had already brought all the people into the area. So, Tim, I just want to answer the
and
question.
then
Tim said, are those Bigfoot experiences from spiritual beings? So Tim, earlier we were talking about tulpas, like thought creations, not necessarily being as like an actual spiritual form, but more like our creation from our own mind, creating Bigfoot like experiences, like tulpas, thought forms, things like that. I just want to answer his question. Sorry, go ahead, Chad. Let me cut you off.
kind of like an energy, man. We create energy. We project it out there. It stays forever. Did you know that a radio signal never goes away? It keeps going somewhere.
Yeah. That's crazy when you think about it. Honestly, that's wild. But yeah, we've talked about a lot tonight. I mean, I think we've covered some really cool stuff.
Mhm.
And I liked hearing about your Ouija board experience. And yeah, I think beware, use caution, and know what you're getting yourself into before you try any technique. Because spiritual things may be more or even less than what you expect them to be. And sometimes you get back what you put out. You think you're gonna have something bad happen, you might very well have something bad happen, whether that be from a thought experiment or a thought form that you're putting out there, or your expectations getting fed right back at you. So just be cautious. And yeah.
Kind of like,
So yeah,
kind of
go
like,
ahead.
kind of like, be careful what you wish for, right?
Yes, exactly. 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 I want really quickly, I just want to remind everybody, the Fold Mysteries presents Irons Michigan Bigfoot Conference coming up August 15th and 16th. You can buy your tickets now. Scan the QR code. After the video, we will put that in the comments below, so you can just click on that to go order your tickets. Vendor spots are open. So check that out. And we also have some VIP spots open where you'll get to have some exciting things happen for you there. You get to eat with the speakers. You will get full access to the event, including a special cooling area. It's going to be hot, so you're going to have a place to kind of cool off, get you a drink. That's going to be your own little VIP section. And also you get to go for that after hours Bigfoot experience. So lots of cool stuff included and still more to come because we're still putting stuff together. So we want to make sure we pack it full of everything. So check it out and we will see everybody next week and have a good night. Bye.